Right, you are now again listening to Real Talk with Herschel here at WKCG, the spot, WKCG, the spot, 99.1 on your FM dial, Dothan, Alabama. Now, those of you on Facebook, you're looking at the gentleman you see that just entered the frame is none other than Minister Steve Canty. I'll let him introduce himself, and then we're going to get back at it. Mr. Canty.
Hi, I'm Stephen Canty. From Dothan, Alabama. I have an organization called G.A.N.G, and the acronym is for God's Anointed New Generation. It's a mentorship program for at-risk youth. It helps at-risk youth because a lot of people don't understand. We have a lot of young black men that don't have nobody to talk to, that don't have people to look up to. A lot of young men look up to rappers, athletes, but where are the strong black men? And that's what G.A.N.G is all about. Established about having role models these young men can look up to.
Okay, so when you work out of your home, you go into prison, what do you do?
I work for the Southeast Alabama Youth Service. I'm a youth service worker. I work with at-risk youth. I currently work in Ozark, Alabama. We have right now 8 boys. I help them with their homework, tutor, mentor. It's like a mentorship program. Just like a father figure, really.
Okay, so what made you? I mean, you know, it's a job. So you work there and you decided to start G.A.N.G?
Yes, sir. The Lord laid on my heart real heavy that I lost my father when I was 12. I never had somebody to show me how to shave, how to do anything, and it's something that's heavy on my heart. Just show young black men that you have somebody to talk to, that you have somebody that will listen to you. And I find it now that all young black men need now somebody just listen to them. A lot of people won't listen to these kids, and that's the problem. They so quick to fuss and yell and scream at them, but you won't listen to them, and that's the problem. With kids now, they won't listen to them. You're quick to fuss and blame and curse and all this stuff, but you won't listen to them. Kids need someone to listen to nowadays.
Okay, and you know, like I said, starting out, like I said, I called you minister because you are a minister. Now you're in Ozark, right?
Yes, sir.
So are the churches behind you or any other organization behind you in Ozark?
We have maybe one church that comes and sees the kids maybe once a month. And to be honest with you, Herschel, you can't preach the word if you don't have a relationship with the kids. The kids, they have to go to Bible study because it's part of the house rule. But if you come there once a week, once a month, and you have a relationship with these kids are not going to receive it. And you have to, the Bible says be fishermen of men. You have to go down to these kids' level where you can be on a level where you can talk to them. You have to build a relationship with kids. It's like with your kids. You have a relationship. You just can't fuss at a child. You don't have a relationship. The child's not going to respect you. You have to build a relationship with these kids. In churches, to be honest with you, churches not doing anything. Churches is sitting back. We have church. Man, you have to come say before. You have churches on every corner, and you have kids that need somebody. It's time for churches to stand up.
Okay. Now, say you're a father figure, they need somebody to listen to. What are they saying? What are the kids saying that they need?
Parents don't listen. They won't listen. They in the boys' home for a reason. Everybody make mistakes. Like I tell my boys all the time. The difference between me and you at your age, you got caught. I did.
Right.
I'm not sitting here telling the boys that I'm perfect because I'm a grown man. I still make mistakes myself. But the kids, they just want somebody to.
Now, I asked you earlier about the churches helping out or any organizations. Now, are you reaching other organizations? How are you being received in the community as far as support? Even if they won't lend their presence, are they contributing? Are they encouraging?
Financially, they bring finances, and some of them drop off food. Okay, that's fine and dandy. These kids need love and attention. These kids need to see somebody cares about them. Okay, you can feed them, you can give them money, but they want somebody to spend time with them.
Right. Right. It takes a man you gotta see a man to be a man. That's what I was told. You know, there's something that I say here every week is that there's only two excuses for a brother not to help out somebody else, and that's to either be dead or incarcerated. Now we got to do double do. I've had the pleasure of working with you a little bit, and you know, with our men's group and inviting the boys out and having a great time. I'm trying to figure out a way to help people understand that, like you said, they just need somebody to talk to. They need examples. We were talking about Nipsey before you came in. Everybody focuses on all the great work he's done, and that's good. But they never mentioned about where he came from, how he fell down and did dirt in the community, and he turned himself around. These boys also need to know that they can turn their life around.
Me and my boys had to talk about Nipsey when it first happened. A lot of people don't understand Nipsey was wrote 6-0 career.
Right.
Nipsey was deep in the game, but he came up out the game, and that's so good that you talked about Nipsey, because I got Nipsey on my screen. Say I shared this with my boy the other day. You don't mind if I share it?
No.
It says, yeah. Nipsey wrote this. It says, yeah, I'm still a gang member, but I'm not a gang banger. It's not something you can just put down, because if you do, you never really was part of it. But you learn how to redirect your energies. I'm not still out here jumping in cars, pulling off missions. I'm building businesses and employing my homeboys. And people gotta understand, everybody got a past, but you learn from your past. You build on your past. And you don't run from your past. Your past can be a learning lesson from somebody else.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, you know, we talk about a lot of these. I'm gonna talk about it. A lot of us join the church and forget from where we came.
Talk about it.
The only people that, not the only people, but the best people to reach these kids that feel like they have nowhere to go is you, because you've been there. It's me, because I've been there. And if I can, because I ain't nobody special. You ain't nobody special. You Steve Canty, off the block, whatever. If you could turn yourself around and serve God and serve your community, that gives them hope, but you're only one man. This is why I put a call out to all the men out there. I don't care how many kids you got. I don't care how grown your kids are. There's still children out there, young boys that need to know how to be a man. And the only way they can be a man is to see a man. Remember, everything that you do, these children are looking at.
Yeah.
And if you carry yourself like an idiot, if you disrespect women like an idiot, what do you expect the kids to do? I've had, like I said, I've had the pleasure of meeting some of those young men, and they're good. They're kids. They are kids in need of attention. That's all they need is attention. To know that somebody gives a damn. That's all they need. And we're throwing them away. We are throwing them away. How is, tell me what G.A.N.G stands for.
God's Anointed New Generation.
Okay. Now, if I wanna help out, how can I get in touch with you?
My Gmail is StephenCanty24@gmail.com. My cell is 334-350-4609.
Now, again, remember, you can't complain about these kids if you never tried to help them.
Stephen with the V or PH?
PH.
Okay. I want to talk about your program, and I also want to talk about some of these current events because they're all pertinent. Now these kids are in the diversion center.
Then we have a boys' home in Ozark.
Okay. And they're there for a number of different reasons,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Now, when they go back, when they're done with their time, what's the follow-up, or is there any follow-up?
Mm-hmm. A lot of them, we had like two go home. I give them my phone number. I stay in contact with them. That's just me. A lot of people don't stay in contact. I stay in contact because I build a relationship with them, and I want to continue to see how they're growing. because some of them progress, some of them regress. And I want to maintain a relationship with them to make sure they grow. If they need anything, they can call me.
So, well, and all of that sounds great, but it sounds like you on a losing mission, Steve, because you can't do it by yourself. So all those out there under the sound of my voice, out there on the internet, give this man a call. Contact me here at the show if you want to help out. Listen, our kids need help. Our kids need help. There's plenty of good men out here. There are plenty of good men out here. You can't tell me they're not, because I know there are. And there are more good men than there are so-called bad men. Because we can't continue to let this society tell us who we are. Because our kids are not bad. They're just, they don't have enough attention and they don't have enough examples. Along with so they come to the home in the evening, they go to school during the day?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm asking these questions because I'm trying to figure out how to get you some help, or how to get some help for some of those other brothers in the same position. Because there's group homes all over the state of Alabama, correct? Okay. Now, there are other people that are in group homes that work just like Steve Canty. Now, if you're out there and you want to do something about it and you don't know what to do, call him. Call him. Give him the number again, Steve.
334-350-4609.
So if you don't know what to do, sometimes that's the problem. People don't know what to do or how to go about it. If we have more people in the system that care, and we have to figure out a way to give these kids a follow-up support system, because it's the same environment that they got in trouble in the first place, where they don't have enough attention or no one to talk to. So it's putting a Band-Aid over a bullet hole. We have to figure out a way to get you funds, because you do everything pretty much out of the home, out of the boys' home, correct? Maybe we need to try to figure out a way to partner up with some after-school programs, or someone that has a facility to start some after-school programs to help these at-risk boys. There's a principal up in New Jersey. He has a lights out program on Friday nights. He opens the school up until 11 p.m. The kids can shoot basketball. They have a little recording studio. They can study. They can just socialize. So it looks like it's the middle of the day. So these kids don't have to be out on the streets. We have to give them alternatives. We also have to be good examples to them. So, I mean, tell me, Steve, I mean, what more can people do? I mean, you're only one person, and you can, if you do it by yourself, you're gonna fail. And that's the way it is. People have to pitch in. What can I do, or what can we do to help?
My motto is each one, reach one, teach one. Each one of us has the obligation to reach one, and when we reach one, we teach one. The last time you met with the boys, you made a lasting impression on them, and they still talk about Brother Herschel to this day. And we need more brothers that make an impact, not just by just being you, being yourself, just showing that you care. A lot of the majority of the boys at the house, they don't have a father figure, and that's the problem. There's no male figures in the house, and that's the biggest problem I see. And a lot of times I have to be the father, but I also have to be the disciplinarian. So it's...
Well, discipline shows love. You don't discipline them. See, because again, the problem is this. When the state gets them, they discipline them and they don't care about them. We have to have people in place that care about us. If this is right now we're working with the system we got. As broken as it is, this is the system we have. So until we can change it or tear it down or whatever, we have to find ways to make it work for us. So don't feel bad that you have to discipline those kids. Just make sure that what you do out of love for them, and not out of some sort of malice, because they're going to get that anyway. Because the system is set up to break them. Our hats have to go off to men like you, Steve. It has to. But just giving you kudos is crap. We have to put our money where our mouth is. We have to show up when it's time for our boys. I asked Steve, and I'm going to say it here live, so the same way, hold my feet to the fire. When we were off, I asked Steve to get a couple of the boys to come down, and we talked to them on the show about their time in the system and what got them into the system and what they need to stay out of the system. It's no reason that as a man, you can take a woman out on a date, or you can go to a concert, or you can hang out with your boys, and you can't take an hour to spend with somebody that needs a father figure. I only spent an hour or so with some of these boys on a couple of different occasions. Now, if I made a lasting impression from 1 or 2 interactions, what could you do with a boy in your neighborhood? A couple times a week. Sit outside on the porch, get back, drink a couple sodas. How's school? What's going on with you? It doesn't take a lot of time. If you can wash your car and clean them rims up the same time that it takes you to do that, you can save a young boy's life. I'm inviting Steve back. I'm not getting rid of him yet, but I'm saying I'm inviting him back anytime he wants to come back, but he has to bring the boys with him, or 1 or 2 of them with him. That's the only way I want him back. Because what happens is we have to put a face to this. We have to make this real. People, if you don't think that we have to save ourselves, you are sadly mistaken. Nobody's coming for us. We're in this by ourselves. We have to do better. We have to help our boys out. I'm focusing on the boys today. We have women on, and our women have to do better as well. We can't ask our children to do something they've never been taught. We have to be a better example. Like I said, I am impressed and in awe of Steve Canty for doing what he does. Because a lot of times when people push that clock, it's a job. We have teachers that do the same thing. Black teachers that do the same thing. It's a job. We have to invest in our children. Because what we want to do is make Steve unemployed. Because if our kids stop getting in trouble by this system that's set up and designed to get them in the system so they can't go to college, so they can't vote, so they can't get a good job. It's set up for them. If we can put Steve out of work, we've done our job. And this is what we need to do. Let's make it our mission to make Steve look for another job because his job was shut down. You feel me? Sir. That's what we need. But we also need more Steves in the system. Because I know, I'm going to say it so you don't have to say it. I know what you're facing, Steve. I know that you don't have help. I know that sometimes you have to intercede because everybody doesn't have the boys' best interest at heart. I know that some of these people that you work with will try to discipline our children out of malice and hatred and not out of love. I'll say it because I don't want you getting in trouble. You ain't got to agree. So we have to also take these jobs that nobody wants, these correctional jobs, these jobs that, because again, if we only leave, it's a system that we have. It's the system that we have. Until we can change it, Antoine, until we go, why are you going to continue to let our enemies discipline our children? Why are you going to continue to let your enemy miseducate your children? Come on, Antoine.
No. I
You
usually leave you alone for these segments, but I do want to point out that the choice isn't between, just assimilating into bad things and doing nothing. There's also the possibility to do productive actions. If we're using the correctional system in mind, I don't think there is a good way to actually execute prisons and security guards. I don't really think there is a good way to do that. So we may want to avoid that example, but doing stuff like what Mr. Canty is doing is excellent.
Actually, I'm a former correctional officer.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, when you got lemons, you make lemonade. Don't just complain about it until you can get something better. All I'm saying, I'm saying until we can get something better, because the system, like I said, the idea is to put Steve out of work. You hear me? To get rid of it all together. I don't understand incarcerating children. First of all.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you. But that's kind of what I mean, though.
But again, until we can get to that point, we can't just let the status quo stand. We need people like Steve as a check and balance to the system. Because think about what it would be like if Steve wasn't in there, or somebody like Steve. Our children will really be
I think that the check and balance in the system is opposition and disengagement from certain aspects of it. I think that our relationship to prison should be more critical then it should be inclusive. And I think that, you know, you mentioned earlier, I completely agree, there's no way to non-cruelly incarcerate a child. But by that same token, there's no kind way to participate in the cruel system.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
And there's kind of within the context of the system itself, but it's not kind of the actual definition of the word.
This man is trying to avoid for them coming back, right? So again, the system is set for recidivism. Now, if I got somebody on the inside that's at least trying to guide them, we got men's groups out here too. We got men's groups out here, Steve. We're affiliated with ones from all the way from Montgomery down to Tallahassee, Florida. Maybe what we need to do is put some of these men's groups on notice. Man, what we need to do is get these men's groups to follow up on these boys, to follow these boys and be mentors to these boys. Because again, the idea is to put Steve out of work, make him look for another job. But in the meanwhile, if I can't change this system, I have to figure out a way to survive it and not just have my children sacrificed. Because if we don't, the only thing they're going to do is go back to the streets. They need to know that even though I'm locked up, I have somebody in here that cares about me. Somebody that I can at least turn to. Because look, at the time that we live in, I don't know, what are the age ranges of boys?
15 to 18.
15 to 18. Now, 15 to 18. It's almost too late to be a father to a 15-year-old. Almost. It's never too late. But it's almost, you would think. Nipsey was in his late 20s when he decided to turn himself around. Late 20s. So it's never too late. It's never too late. Nipsey came from a good home. He consciously decided to run the streets. I'm not kicking this back in. What I'm doing is showing that it's never too late. Somebody helped educate him. Somebody helped him see something different, and that he could use his superpowers for good instead of bad. And all I'm saying is we have to show our children. And only we can do it, men. Only we can do it. Our women can't do it. They can't do it. They can't do it. Man up. There are a lot of single women out there. You women have to stop the nonsense as well and allow these boys to see a man so that they know how to be a man. It's not taking anything away from you as a mother, but only a man can teach a man a boy how to be a man. You can raise a great son, you can give him great value, but manhood is taught by men, just like womanhood is taught by women. You can be the best father in the world. You better get a good woman around your daughter if you're raising your child by yourself. And we have to understand it. We are in this together. We are in this together. Steve Canty is doing a great thing. He ain't the only one doing it, but he's not getting any press about it. We'll put it like that. Because if he was in there kicking them kids in the back, they put that all over the news. If he was doing things detrimental to us, they put it on the news because that's how we are. Because we've seen black guards abusing black prisoners. We've seen black guards talking down to black inmates. We've seen that, and they always show that. What I'm saying to you is we have a messed up system. Until we can tear it down, we have to figure out a way to keep our children out of it. Again, Steve Canty has a group called G.A.N.G that he started. Now you say, now I asked you before, you mostly work with kids that come through there. Are you working on anything, or are you trying to do anything outside of the group?
Yes, sir. I'm currently working on a program where I have a couple guys. Like I said, I'm a former correction officer. I have guys that call me every day. Hey, pops, uncle, that I've been registered in prison. They have got out of prison, got their own business. They're doing good. So we're getting a forum together where these guys are going to talk to the young men of the community, show them that, okay, I made a mistake. I've been incarcerated, but I came out that situation. I got my own business. I'm doing good. Hey, if I did it, you can do it. So I'm currently getting that in the works where they can sit down and show the young black men that, hey, I can do this instead of always reading about young black men getting arrested, young black men getting shot. We gotta publicize all young black men that's doing good. I'm sick of hearing about young black men getting arrested, young black men getting shot. I'm tired of hearing about that. Let's put the black men that's doing good out here. Let's advertise our young, strong black men.
That's right. That's right. And only we can do it. We have to stop allowing our enemies to educate or miseducate our children, allowing our enemies to do. Because who in their right mind will let somebody that don't like you discipline their child? You're a father. You gonna let Mr. Child just whoop your kids because they won't listen to you? And again, this is where we at. This is where we at. The system is broken. The system is messed up. I can't tear it down today. So right now, until we can tear it down, we have to find a way to save our children. We have to find a way, once we get them out, to keep them out. We got groups. We're going to do this. While you sit here, Steve, I'm going to do our solidarity shout out. And those groups that are out here, listen, these men's groups that are out here, you need to stand up.
Don't just meet need.
You're right. Don't just meet need. You know, you need to get out here and help out. Brothers like Steve, you know, you need to get out here and make a difference. Follow up with these young men. You know, help them be grown men. Now, like I said, this is our solidarity block. I usually wait till our guest is gone, but I'm gonna put everybody on the spot. Now, all these groups I call out, y'all know where you're at. You know what you can do. Now, a lot of you are already doing great work. My first shout out is to North Highland Baptist, to the men's Bible study and prayer group over there that meets at 7 o'clock every Saturday morning. Brother Pete, Pickett, Hawkins, Brother Ward, Randy, and Brother Dennis, and myself. Like I said, 7 o'clock on Saturday mornings in Dothan, Alabama, at North Highland Baptist Church. We also want to shout out to the City of Refuge in Montgomery, Fishers of Men, Dr. White, Reverend Dr. White, up there doing great things, men's outreach. If you're in the Montgomery area, we're going to put all this information up. We also want to shout out to New Breed right here in Dothan, Alabama, that works out of Hines Chapel A&E Church on Delwood Avenue, who are in the process of adopting a school and catching these young boys young. I'm a part of that, so I'm going to make sure that go down, Brother Steve. Black Voters Matter. Black Voters Matter focuses on the black voters' issues, not black voters voting, black voter issues. Right now, they're working in about 7 states in the South, doing great there. These are all groups that people can be involved in that can also do things to help out with what you're doing, Steve. We want to shout out to Mama Tina's Mission House, right here in Dothan, Alabama, the only fully functional soup kitchen and mission in this area. Fully functional, 5 days a week, 2 meals a day. They have a full clothing closet. You can get food packages, the whole 9. So if you don't see it, robbery, they're located over on Lena, I think it's 504 Lena Street in Dothan, Alabama. Also want to shout out to Delta Sigma Theta of Ozark and of Dothan. They're great supporters of this show, and they do great work in the community. I want to shout out my boys up in Newark, New Jersey, Plymouth Alpha 165, of which I'm a past master. Give out scholarships and help the community. They've started chess tournaments in the past and things with at-risk youth. So keep up the good work. We also want to shout out, there are a lot of women's groups out here too. Sisters Keeper, Reverend White, right here in Dothan, Alabama. She also works with the health department. A lot of you know her from the health department. She has a self-help group with abused women and women that just need someone to talk to. Where they meet at is always kept private. We're going to give you Sister Reverend White's information. We're gonna put it all up online so that you can get in touch with her. You have to contact her in order to come to her meetings, okay? Because there are some women that are at risk and they don't want the meetings to be infiltrated by violence. We also have Women Walking with Purpose out of Hines Chapel as well. Reverend Tracy Horn runs that, and they work in Dothan as well as Eufaula, Alabama. Another women's group that's doing great things and outreach to women So there are groups out there that are doing things, Steve. We just have to tap into them, and this is what we're doing here at Real Talk. We're acting as a bridge between these groups. We got too many fingers and not enough fists. We got to get these fists together and knock this system out the box. And this is what we do here. I'm not, I'm a part of some groups, but I'm trying to help, not trying to. What we're doing here is bridging the gap. We're going to get you resources. We're going to get you help so that we can do follow-ups to help these boys when they get out to never have to come back. That's what it's all about. As we reach them, we can't just, because what happens is right now you're just spitting in the wind. Because when they go home, there's very little follow-up, and you can't possibly do it all by yourself. You can't. So that's our solidarity block, and we do that every week, Steve. We do that every week. We're gonna add you to the list. Yeah. So what happens is, as people are looking for things to be a part of, we're gonna give them something to be a part of. Because some people don't want to start a group, but they want to help. Some people want to start a group but don't know how. This is something that you've done on yourself. And again, it's commendable. We tell everybody, you have to start small. You can't jump out the window and try to save the world, and your block is burning, or your family is perishing. You have to start one place one block at a time. And I commend you inside the system, because I don't see many people trying to start a ministry inside the system. I told you before, we had a ministry that would go into the youth in New Jersey, but you are actually an employee of the system. So we want to. What would you say to other people that work within the system to help our youth?
Just show the kids that you care. I understand it's a job, you have a job here to do, but show the kids that you care. And sometimes you just gotta stop and you gotta listen and hear these kids' heart. Because some of these kids' heart are broken. Some of these kids are hurting. And you just gotta listen, you gotta stop and just listen to these kids.
All right, now all of you that work within the system, you don't have to be a part of the system. It's no different than whatever religious doctrine you follow. You're supposed to live in the world, but not be of it. So you live by a different set of principles. So you take your godly principles and you live them within your job, is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, people, please reach out to Steve. If you don't want to reach out to Steve, reach out to somebody. There are children all over this state, this country, this city that don't have fathers or a father figure. Single mothers, don't be scared to ask someone. Everybody knows somebody they can trust. Whether you go to church or it's a decent guy on the block, you got an uncle, or you got a friend, or you got a friend of yours, husband or something. Listen, my son, can you take it with you? Can you talk to him? You have to allow men to teach our boys how to be men. Men, we have to do better. We have to be a better example on how we treat our women. We have to be a better example on how we treat our children. But let me tell you something. This baby mama, baby daddy crap ain't in the Bible. Nowhere. I ain't seen it in the Quran or Bible. I ain't seen it nowhere. Tell me. I ain't seen baby daddy in the Bible. I've seen where men had concubines. And they had children with their concubines. And they took care of those children. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
They took care of their children. So don't think you're doing something special because you're taking care of your children. You're supposed to. Now, all these children belong to us. We are a community. We are not a hood. We are a black community. And as such, we have an obligation to help where there is no help. You have to help out the widow's son. We've all read about the widow's son. So all these princes and all these kings out here that's repping this and repping that, be a king. Rep it right. I'm not saying you have to walk around here sprinkling fairy dust, bumping the bottom. But you need to stand up strong and show these young men how to be strong, how to defend our women. Not because our women are weak, because they're important. That's why we defend our women. This is why we defend our children, not because they're weak, but because they're important.
You know what, Herschel? You said something so good. I hate to interrupt you, but I just said it. You said feed people with the Bible. I don't tell everybody I'm a minister, because I introduce myself. I say my name is Steve. I don't say minister this. my name is Steve. I don't beat the kid. I don't beat my kids across the head with the Bible. I talk to the kids, and I ease a word in, and then I slowly build a relationship with them. You can't beat people across the head with the Bible. That's how you run people away. You cannot beat people across the head with the Bible.
That's right. You just learned how to fish, so, but you know you can't clean that fish till you catch it.
Boy, you said something right there.
You can't clean that fish till you catch it. So you got to catch that fish first. So you don't catch him with the knife. You got to catch him with a hook. Throw that hook out there, get up. Like you said, it's about relationship. You build a relationship, you build trust. And then it'll pique the interest as to why do you care? Because I know they ask you that too. Why do you care? So why do you care?
I have a heart for young men, young black men. Like I said, my pops died when I was 12, and it's a yearning inside of me. When I say I'm tired of young black men dying, I'm tired of young black men getting arrested. My wife said it bothers me. When Nipsey died, I didn't even know Nipsey. I didn't know anything about it. When he died, it bothered me because I'm tired of our young black men dying over senseless stuff. And I have a heart for young men. Young black men then working in the job I'm working on. Black men are in danger. People don't understand it. People think it's a game. All young black men are in danger. People don't understand. All young black men, I keep saying to people, if you hear anything I say, all young black men are in danger. And we got to do something about it.
All right, you heard live from the horse's mouth. People, we got to do this. We're in this together. It's not about life. It's not about life. It's about necessity. We have to put aside our minor differences, because whether I like Steve or not, don't matter. Whether he likes me or not, don't matter. Our children are being taken from us. Our women are being taken from us. We are being taken from our women, because the men are being incarcerated at a crazy rate. They're being killed, and we're being killed in the street. We're being over-incarcerated. We got to do better. We got to save ourselves. We got to realize that we're in this together, and we can't let other people tell us what's important to us. We got to work together. We got to get Steve some help, because it's not helping Steve, it's helping us. It's helping the greater good. I don't care what you think about somebody's politics. We can agree upon our children are at risk. We can agree upon our women are at risk. We can agree upon we are at risk. We can agree upon that. So let's work on that. But we can worry about what sets you from and how you pray, if you pray, what you believe and what you don't believe. We all believe in that, right?
It's not about a denomination. It's about these kids. It's about these young men. I don't care about the denomination. I don't care about where you come from, what's said. It's about these kids. We got to help these kids.
So again, people, this is our community. This ain't our hood. Okay, we have to watch our language. We have to watch our language. We have to watch our language, because what you speak has to come back. You speak stuff into existence. Speak your community into existence. Speak self-help into existence. Speak, I'm calling Steve into existence. Speak, I'm gonna help out, and stop complaining. Because we can no longer sit by and watch this stuff just go on. I'm gonna run my mouth until they shut it. They're probably gonna have to shut it when I die. Because as long as I got breath in my body, I'm gonna try to help my brothers and my sisters. And this is what we gotta do. We're in this together. And the sooner we understand that, the better off we'll be. So we're gonna play a little bit more music here. We're gonna come back with Steve before he leaves, because we got a second guest coming in at 12:30. We're gonna get ready for that. Yeah, but that's all about Steve. That's what we do. Like and share us. Like and share us. All right. These videos will be up on YouTube shortly. As soon as Sean come back from vacation, he's back, but he's lazy. So as soon as he get it together, we're gonna get it up on YouTube. That's Real Talk with Herschel on YouTube.
That's some fake talk right there.
That's some real talk.
That's some fake talk right there.
And we also you can follow us on Twitter, Real Talk HG on Twitter. If you have any suggestions, or if you want to get in touch with Steve or any of our other guests, you can email us at Real Talk with Herschel. Real Talk with Herschel. Herschel is spelled Herschel. realtalkwithherschel@gmail.com. All right. Now, going forward, we're gonna have community groups going, community announcements. When Steve has his things going on, we're gonna announce it, promote it ahead of time. If you have things going on in your community, please contact us, especially here in Alabama. Even if you're not, wherever you are, please, and we'll promote it, because we are one community throughout this country. We're all in this together. So please like and share, and put your information up on our email and Twitter, and we'll get it out there for you.